Welcome to Module 3 of our Anatomy and Physiology program, the muscular system. In this session, we're going to take a closer look at the muscles that allow the body to move, breathe, stand, and stabilize. And of course, these are also the muscles you work with every single day as therapists. So let's explore how they work, where they are located, and how you can support them safely and effectively in your treatments. The muscular system is basically the engine behind every movement in the body. Whenever a guest walks into the spa feeling tense, stiff, heavy, or tired, most of that sensation is coming from their muscles. In this module, we'll talk about how the muscles are structured, how they contract and relax, and how your techniques like pressure work, stretching, and mobilization directly influence muscle behavior. My goal here is to make everything clear and practical so you can immediately apply it in your treatments. Let's go through what our muscles actually do for us. First, movement. Muscles pull on the bones, and that's what creates every action you see: lifting, walking, turning the head, and even smiling. Second, posture. Even when we're sitting or standing still, certain muscles stay active to keep us upright. These are your postural muscles, like the muscles along the spine, the core, and the hips. Third, heat production. Whenever a muscle contracts, it produces heat. That's why tense muscle often feel warm to the touch. And finally, circulation and lymph flow. Muscles help pump blood and lymph throughout the body. This is one reason why massage can reduce swelling, improve blood flow, and help release tension. So when you're working on a muscle, you're influencing all these functions at the same time. We have three major types of muscles in the body, and each one serves a different role. Skeletal muscles are the muscles you work on most. They are attached to the bones, they create movement, and we can control them consciously. Example includes biceps, quads, and trapezius. Smooth muscles are found inside organs like the intestines, the stomach, the blood vessels, and even the diaphragm. This works automatically without us thinking about them. They help regulate digestion, breathing, and circulation, all things that shift beautifully during relaxation. And cardiac muscle is found in the heart. It contracts nonstop throughout life. We don't touch the heart directly, but our work can help calm the nervous system, which indirectly supports the heart's rhythm. So, understanding these muscle types helps you appreciate how your touch creates changes inside the body. Since skeletal muscles are the main muscles we work with, let's understand them a little more. Skeletal muscles are made up of bundles of fibers. Inside each fiber are tiny filaments that slide past each other, and that sliding action is what creates movement. Muscles attach to the bones through tendons. So when a muscle contracts, it pulls on the tendon and the tendon pulls on the bone. And that's how we get movement. Now, if a muscle becomes tight or overworked, those fibers don't slide smoothly anymore. That's when you feel the knots, the tension, and the stiffness under your hands. By understanding how muscle fibers behave, you can apply your pressure more intentionally and help the muscles return to a healthier, more relaxed state. Now let's briefly talk about smooth and cardiac muscles. Smooth muscles are the muscles we find in the digestive system, the lungs, and the blood vessels. They control things like digestion, breathing patterns, and circulation. And even though we don't massage these muscles directly, our work does influence them, especially through relaxation and breathing cues. Cardiac muscle, on the other hand, is only found in the heart. It works continuously and rhythmically. When we help guests relax, slow their breathing, and shift into a calmer state, the heart naturally follows and settles into a smoother rhythm. So while these muscles are not manually manipulated, the nervous system connects them to your touch, which is why spa therapy can create such a holistic calming effect. Let's talk about how muscles actually create movement. Now, I promise we're not going into complicated science. I'll explain this in the most simplest and most practical way. Inside every skeletal muscle are tiny protein filaments. When a muscle contracts, these little filaments slide toward each other, and the entire muscle shortens. When the muscle relaxes, they slide back to their original position. This sliding action is what lets you bend your arm, turn your head, or lift your leg. For us as therapists, this matters because tight muscles have fibers that cannot glide smoothly. Relaxed muscles have fibers that move freely, and areas that feel ropey or hard or have knots often mean that the fibers are stuck or guarded. By warming the tissue or and applying pressure slowly and mindfully, you help restore that smooth gliding motion. When we think of muscles working, we usually imagine them shortening. But muscles actually contract in three different ways. Concentric contraction is when the muscles shortens, like when you lift your arm and your biceps tighten. Eccentric contraction is when the muscles lengthens while still holding tension. For example, lowering your arm slowly, the biceps stay active but stretch. Isometric contraction is when the muscles hold tension without moving at all, like holding a heavy bag still or doing a plank position. For therapists, this is important because many tight or painful muscles are stuck in an isometric pattern, meaning they're on even when the guest is resting. Relaxation techniques help switch them off so the guest can release the tension. Muscles become imbalanced in two major ways. They can be locked short or locked long. A locked short muscle is tight, shortened, and overactive. These muscles often feel hard, dense, or resistant under your hands. Examples are tight upper traps or a shortened hip flexor. A locked long muscle is overstretched or weak. It carries tension because it's trying to hold on for stability, not because it's strong. For example, weak lower back muscles or overstretched rhomboids. Both types can cause discomfort, poor posture, and movement restriction. When you understand which muscles are short and which ones are long, your massage becomes more strategic. Short muscles need lengthening and release. Long muscles need relaxation but also support and stabilization. Let's talk about something very practical: origin and insertion. These are simply the two attachment points of a muscle. The origin is the attachment point that stays stable. The insertion is the part that moves when the muscle contracts. Knowing this helps you understand the direction of the muscle fibers, choose the correct pressure direction, and supports the muscle's natural movement. For example, The biceps originate at the shoulder and insert on the forearm. So when you work from the shoulder toward the elbow, you're following the natural direction of the fibers. This is why understanding origin and insertion makes your technique smoother and more effective. Muscles create different kinds of actions, and understanding these actions really helps you figure out which muscles are working too hard or which ones might not be working enough. Flexion is when a joint bends, like when you bend your elbow or knee and the two body parts come closer together. Extension is the opposite. It's when the joint straightens back out. Abduction happens when a limb moves away from the body, like lifting the arm or leg to the side. Adduction brings that limb back in toward the body again. And rotation is any turning or twisting movement around the axis, like turning your head or rotating your torso. When a guest says they feel limited, maybe they can't lift their arm fully or they have trouble bending their knee. The restriction usually comes from a tight or overactive muscles that's blocking one of these actions. So knowing these basic movements helps you make sense of the patterns you see and feel during a treatment, and it also guides you in choosing techniques that restore ease and mobility. Muscles always work in pairs. One muscle performs the movement and the opposite muscle controls or balances it. The agonist is the muscles doing the work. The antagonist is the muscles doing the opposite movement. A simple example is the biceps and triceps. The biceps bend the elbow, the triceps straighten it. If one muscle becomes too tight or too weak, the pair becomes imbalanced. This is where tension patterns begin, especially around the shoulders, hips, and lower back. Understanding these pairs helps you recognize which muscles need release and which one needs support. Let's look at the major muscle groups of the neck and shoulders because these areas are the most common sources of tension in spa treatments. First, the trapezius. This big triangular muscle covers the upper back and the back of neck. It helps lift the shoulders, turn the head, and support posture. When guest says, "My shoulders feel tight," they're usually talking about the upper traps. Next is the levator scapulae. This muscle runs from the upper neck down to the shoulder blade. It lifts the scapula, but it also gets tight from stress and poor posture. It's one of the most common muscles responsible for neck stiffness. Then we have the sternocleidomastoid or SCM. This is the muscle you see running from behind the ear down to the collarbone. It rotates and flexes the neck. It's very sensitive, so we always use gentle pressure here. Lastly, the scalenes. These are deep neck muscles that assist with breathing. They sit close to nerves and blood vessels, so deep pressure is not appropriate. When we understand these muscles clearly, we know which areas to warm up, where to be gentle, and where tension is most likely hiding. Now let's move down to the back, another area where guests store a lot of physical and emotional tension. First, the erectile spinae. It runs along the entire length of the spine. They help us stand upright and extend the spine. Because they work all day long, they often feel tight or fatigued. Then the rhomboids. They sit between the shoulder blades. They pull the shoulder blades together. These muscles usually become overstretched or irritated when someone has rounded shoulders or poor posture. And then the latissimus dorsi or lats. These are the large muscles on the sides of the back. They help with pulling movements and support posture. When they are tight, they can limit shoulder mobility. Understanding these muscles helps you identify why someone might feel tightness across the back, have difficulty rotating the torso, or have strain around the shoulder blades. The front of the body plays a huge role in posture and breathing. The pectoralis major and minor are the chest muscles. When they are tight, which happens a lot with people who sit at the desk or look down at the phones, the shoulders rotate forward. This creates neck tension and upper back pain. The rectus abdominis, or the abs, run down the front of the abdomen. They help flex the trunk. These muscles are sensitive, so we keep pressure very light here. The obliques are located on the sides of the abdomen. They help with twisting and stabilizing the core. Supporting these muscles can improve breathing, posture, and overall comfort. When the chest is tight and the back is weak, the whole upper body becomes misaligned, which is why chest work and core awareness are also important even in spa treatments. Let's take a moment to focus on the arms because many guests don't realize how much tension they hold here. The deltoids cover the shoulder cap and helps lift the arm. They often get tight from overuse or poor posture. The biceps allow the elbow to bend, while the triceps straighten it. Guests who carry bags or work with their hands all day may have tensions here. The forearm flexors and extensors control the wrist and finger movements. These muscles get fatigued easily from phone use, typing, and repetitive motions. When these muscles are tight, guests may feel wrist pain, elbow discomfort, and even numbness in the hands. Your work here can bring a lot of relief. Now let's talk about the hips and the glutes, a powerhouse area for movement and stability. Gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus support hip movement, balance, and posture. When these muscles are weak or tight, they can create lower back pain or discomfort while walking or standing. The piriformis is a deep hip muscle that rotates the leg outward. It sits right near the sciatic nerve, so when it becomes tight, it can irritate the nerve and cause radiating pain down the leg. This is why we use broad, slow pressure here, never sharp or sudden. Supporting the glutes and the hips can dramatically improve the guest's overall comfort. Let's move down to the legs, which carry the body's weight and work continuously throughout the day. The quadriceps are located on the front of the thigh. They extend the knee and help with walking, running, and standing. These muscles can become tight in active people or those who sit for long hours. The hamstring are on the back of the thigh. They help bend the knee. They often become tight from sitting or weak from lack of use. The calves, the gastrocnemius and soleus, help with walking and balance. Tight calves can affect posture and even cause foot discomfort. The tibialis anterior sits along the front of the shin. It lifts the foot during walking. When it's tired or overworked, it can lead to shin splints. These muscles work together to stabilize the lower body. So treating them helps improve circulation, mobility, and overall relaxation. Trigger points are small, tight knots in the muscle fibers that can cause pain locally or in other parts of the body. For example, the upper traps can refer pain into the head, creating headaches. The piriformis can send pain down to the legs, while the scalenes can cause numbness or discomfort in the arms. Trigger points often develop from stress, strain, or repetitive use. When you apply warm, slow, and controlled pressure, you help release these points and allow the muscle fibers to soften. Always remember to ask for feedback. Trigger point work should feel relieving, not sharp or overwhelming. Here are some common muscular conditions you may encounter. Muscle strain happens when fibers are overstretched or torn. We avoid deep pressure here and use gentle supportive strokes. Muscle spasm is a sudden tightening of the muscles. Heat and slow breathing techniques can help ease the spasm. Myofascial pain is caused by tight fascia restricting movement. Slow, sustained pressure helps release the tissue. Repetitive strain injury or RSI affects areas like the wrist, forearm, or shoulders, especially in people who use their hands repetitively. Understanding these conditions helps you tailor your treatment safely. Massage has powerful effects on the muscular system, and understanding these effects helps you appreciate what your touch is really doing during a treatment. It boosts circulation, bringing fresh oxygen and nutrients into the muscles and helping the tissues recover more efficiently. It eases muscle tension and reduces discomfort, especially in areas that have been overworked or held tight from stress. Massage also interrupts the body's stress cycle by lowering cortisol and activating the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest state where the body can finally slow down and reset. And when massage is paired with mindful stretching, it supports better flexibility and improves overall mobility. This is why guests often say they feel lighter, taller, or simply more at ease after a session. Their muscles, breath, and nervous system begin to work together again, creating a sense of balance and relief. Let's wrap up this module with a few key takeaways. First, remember that muscles don't just create movement, they also help stabilize the body and support posture. Skeletal muscles respond to stress, posture habits, and even the way we apply our techniques, which is why awareness is so important in treatment work. Knowing a muscle's origin, insertion, and action gives you a clearer picture of how tension forms and how to work safely with it. And when you understand the major muscle groups, you can more easily identify where mobility is restricted or where a guest might be compensating. Trigger points can also create pain in areas far from where the knot actually is. So, recognizing these patterns helps you address discomfort more effectively. Massage supports muscle health by improving circulation, enhancing flexibility, and helping the body shift into a more relaxed state. So ultimately, the more you understand how muscles work, the more refined your touch becomes, and the more therapeutic your results will be.